He is a god of the game.
Goals, goals and more goals. Euros 2020 is shaping out to be a spectacular tournament with not so many surprises, except Germany reminding everyone who they are and what they can do to teams who speak Portuguese. When are we going to move on from Le Blues to the Azuris for being the favourites? A courageous display from our Indian women's cricket team which gave us something to cheer amidst ICC's horrible event management. Let's go!
Absolutely world class.
Euros is heating up, and how? International football is not boring anymore. If World Cup 2018 was a prototype, this Euros have been almost the perfect product. Welcome everyone to yet another episode of SportsCharcha. This is me Bala and we have Eeshaan with us.
Hi guys.
We'll start right from where we left off from the last episode. The second half of Denmark versus Belgium. First half it was 1-0 to Denmark, but then something happened in second half with the name of Kevin De Bruyne which changed the game just simply, and Belgium won it 2-1. You saw the second half?
Yes, I did. I think Belgium just decided to get the big guns on. You got Hazard and De Bruyne out on the pitch, and obviously De Bruyne is just like a class apart, man. Wow.
And the second goal, what a hit it was.
No, great layup by Hazard. 1-2 play by Hazard and Lukaku. Then Hazard just set it up for De Bruyne and just first touch shot. I think that's become such a trademark De Bruyne goal. We've seen that numerous times for City, and meaning it's just like low and accurate. It's almost like he's an advanced version of Toni Kroos when taking these long shots, because he gets a little more power, but that placement is just immaculate.
And like stats, generally people just generally look at the score next day, won't see Lukaku's name in both the goals. But his contribution to both the goals, I mean, it was, both of them were his goals, I'll have to say. It was because of him both those goals actually happened. He is, game by game, he's showing something extreme, and I don't know, man. Like my love for Lukaku has been increasing over the last one and a half years. I just love watching him play.
You make a very valid point, because I think Lukaku can be categorized in one of the late bloomers of football, because yes, when he was at West Brom early stage in Premier League, he was scoring the goals, but he was just a box-to-box number 9 in a way. Give him the ball, he'll head it or shoot it. But what we've seen him evolve under Conte, for example, with Inter, he has completely changed his game. He's not just a scoring striker, but he's actually doing something like what you would associate with the Benzema, but leveraging the strength that he has. And that's what's setting him apart, and like it's showing. The results are just showing, because as you said, both the goals, he had a major role to play in it, and he's just going from strength to strength.
Yeah. Heartbreak for Denmark. I mean, we all know what happened, and looks like they have to win the final game. They'll be playing against Russia tonight. So hopefully they win and make the group much more interesting. So that's about Denmark versus Belgium. But let's move on to the biggest game, the game that made the maximum news. One of the most interesting game that we have seen in this Euro so far. The most surprising result, I have to say, Germany-Portugal. I didn't see this coming. At all.
I agree with you. Like, I do not know what happened to Portugal. I think defensively just shut down. It was a 404 error. They blanked out. And if you see the goal, 2 own goals, bizarre. And like Ruben Diaz looking like an amateur. It was very strange. But, credit goes out to Germany. Gosens, nobody heard of him before this tournament. And
no one in Germany wouldn't have even heard of him, because he never came through the German football Bundesliga. He started off with at Eredivisie Netherlands, and then he have been playing with Atlanta for the last 4 or 5 seasons.
And he's become such a great, because he's a huge unit.
Yeah.
And he's fast, he's skillful, and then he scored a headed goal as a winger. I mean, what more do you need? And it was a very surprising race. Ronaldo got his usual goals, obviously. But I am seeing Bruno Fernandes being a little caught out right now in terms of his true ability. I'm not saying anything. United fans, don't hate me. But it's just, he looks a little off.
Yeah.
I think out of his comfort zone.
comfort zone, I agree, but again, I also have to give some level of doubt, some benefit of doubt to Bruno Fernandes here, because see, he has been playing for United ever since the last season started. That is, I'm saying somewhere around August till now. He pretty much played every game for United, and people who saw United last season knew he was the engine of their entire team. Without Bruno Fernandes, United were pathetic. So maybe he's tired. Could that be the reason, or I don't know?
That could be a very good point because, yeah, you're right. He played a bulk almost every single United game, and United were, they had the Europa Cup to deal with as well, and that's a lot of games. Yeah, but I'm saying which big team with great players has not played a lot of games?
Point.
Right. So, I cannot use that. We cannot use that as an excuse. But yeah, you may be right. He's not that kind of a unit. He's not an N'Golo Kante that can keep playing every game for every season all the time, in consecutive days.
And running all the time.
And running all the time. And I think if you ignore the 2 goals from Portugal, the best chance they had was a player who came out of retirement, Renato Sanchez. I didn't know he was still alive. The last time I saw him was in this tournament.
He won Liga with Lille.
Yeah, but I don't know what he did. I don't watch Liga.
But that strike, talking about that strike,
Yes. What a hit that was. But I think amazing match. It was such fun to watch. Yeah. I think this is what I like about this German team is because they're so unpredictable. Yeah. They're almost like Real Madrid. You do not know what the hell they are going to come play on that day. Cruz had a great game, solid. Gundogan had a solid game. So it was. I think this makes it very interesting, this group right now, as to what's going to happen.
This result and the result before this game, which we'll talk about in a minute, both actually opened up this group. And I just wanted to give one shout out to Muller. I mean, that guy was brilliant. And the best part of Muller, I was just focusing on him. After the first goal happened, I was just looking at him, what's he doing and all. He was talking all the time. He was literally pointing to every single German player on the field and telling them where to go, where to pass, move here, give it to him, give it to him. Oh God, he was black.
We know this about Muller, right? He's not the prettiest footballer to watch, but he's a brain. He's such a smart player. And I think Joachim Löw has been very smart in getting him back into the squad because not only the experience, but he can get that tactical mindset to all the young players. Look at how Serge Gnabry played that game.
Brilliant he was.
The Portuguese defense midfield just couldn't contain him.
Yeah.
He was playing around with them. And a lot of it was, as you said, Muller was a chatterbox. He was constantly dictating the play, the flow, finding the flaws in the Portuguese, defense back line. So I think it was a great performance by Germany.
Portugal, should they be worried? I mean, they have a game against France. If they lose, they could be in trouble. Theoretically, could be in trouble.
They should be worried about how poorly they are playing as a team. They're just not gelling. I remember we were discussing this before the Euros, right? Look at the options they have, and they're not performing. I think I remember you saying this, that this is the first time Ronaldo is not the best player in the Portuguese team. Yeah. But hey, breaking news. Who is the best player in the Portuguese team right now at the age of 75? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that goes a long way in saying that, where are the other guys who we knew or they're fucking superstars. What are they doing? So they need to get their act together, and France is going to be a tough test for them.
Yeah, and France will also be pissed off after their draw against Hungary. I saw the game. Well, I couldn't put fingers on where France went wrong, but I just have to credit Hungary for their verve and their physical presence.
I think Bala, you put it really succinctly when in France's first game. They never got out of first gear. Yeah. And I think they continued that gear in the second game as well because Hungary were up for the game. They knew they are the inferior team. They gave it their all. France just had to try a little harder. Yes, there were some chances that you would normally associate Benzema putting away. Mbappe had some clear headers. Yeah, roll of the dice didn't probably go, but you come on, you expect the French team to roll over Hungary, and that didn't happen.
I can understand maybe from a French team's perspective, like if you are a fans of the French team, it's better to have.
How many times are you going to say F again? Fan of the success.
No, I'm saying it's better to have a bad performance too early, at least at this level where it's not really going to affect your result. So hopefully they will be able to fix them, and we all know what France can do when everyone's is on song. So
I think the worry for them, just to end the France topic, is Varane.
Yeah.
Varane, I don't know what has happened to him in the last couple of years. His defensive confidence has gone down the drain, and I think the goal the Hungary scored, he was caught off guard. And it's not something what you associate with him. So that might be a little bit of a concern for Didier Deschamps.
Point. Very good. Anyways, that group is interestingly poised. We'll have the final round of games, I think, tomorrow night. Moving on to the most talked about game, probably as per the records that we have available, it is the oldest ever rivalry. It's the England versus Scotland. It wasn't a boring game. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. It was around 12:30 at night our time. I enjoyed watching it, but yeah, it was 0-0. And the exact problems that we were talking about the English team over the last 545 years of football, the same thing happened again. They just cannot break a team who are very well defensively organized. They just couldn't break them.
Yeah, and I think they should probably change their logo from the 3 lions to 3 lions with a muzzle on, because I just came up with that one. Thank you, that's a good one. But they are just so dull. I mean, I do not know what they have no attacking intention. Sometimes I feel like if you saw the first half, Scotland didn't have to do very much. I barely saw Harry Kane get the ball. And when you see him with Spurs, he's almost like Messi-esque in that way, that if he doesn't get the ball, he'll probably fall backward, get the ball, and then he was not doing any of that. Sterling, he's good on his day, he's awful on the other day. So all the action was going down the left wing with Shaw running up, passing it to Sterling passing it back to the midfield. What I find surprising, and Bala, you could probably have more to say on this, is why the hell is Southgate ignoring Jadon Sancho?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up actually. When you're clearly lacking creative intent in the middle.
Exactly.
You have a player who set the Bundesliga on fire, who has been doing that for 2 seasons with Dortmund. Why are you not bringing him on? I mean, I don't know. He is the England manager. He gets paid, I think, 2-3 million pounds a year for doing this. I don't know. I don't know what I am missing. What am I missing to be an
because why do you need 2 defensive midfielders against a team like Scotland, who's anyway going to be solid at the back? They're not going to give the ball away. You need people who can create some chances for you. And I feel that I know England will go through. They will somewhere they always go through. If you've seen this historically, especially since the time we've been watching football, England generally have always struggled in any group stage. They've never won group stages outright ever, and they somehow make it through, and I'm sure they will. But what I'm really concerned is that they've got such an attacking squad. Why aren't they attacking? It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's very. I was very disappointed to see them play like that, and again, right, the way this English media jazz it up, and you see, I listen to a lot of UK based podcasts, and they mostly talk about English football, and the one name you could hear all day long was Jack Grealish, as if he's the next Messi. Yeah. I mean, he's good. Grealish is good. I give that to you. He's a good player. He's a creative player. England haven't had that kind of a player for a while. But they think that's it. That is the answer. You bring Grealish answer. It's not like that. I mean, they're just so single-minded. They just watch EPL and they think Grealish is the greatest player ever.
You associate that with Indian cricket also. The pressure we put on our team just because they're good at IPL. But
That's also good.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
correct.
I think, what's going to be very interesting, and I'll say this again, is how will England play once when they face a team that is going to attack them back? Uh,
Yeah.
do they have that thing that now, okay, I've given you space to attack. Can you score me a goal? I currently don't think they can.
Anyways, it will be interesting to see them play against the Czech Republic, who themselves are actually doing really well. They played against Croatia. It was a 1-1 draw. It was a boring game. Sweden, Slovakia. Sweden won 1-0. Again, a boring game. 44 players spent 180 minutes playing that game doing nothing. So let's don't spend more time on those games.
Yes.
Moving on to another boring game, another draw for Spain. Spain won, Poland won. Next game, like Spain versus Slovakia, I mean, if it's anything other than a win, probably we'll see Luis Enrique the last time as Spain's coach.
Spain are the new Las Soyas.
Oh God! And their games are also played at that time, 12:30.
Oh man. Like I don't know, man. Like Morata is the best player in your team. I really like. I love Morata, Madrid fan, but like, come on, man. How can Morata be the best player in your team? Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry for them. I really worry for them.
Yeah. We see. I saw the starting lineup. Okay, Moreno was there. Okay, fine. One mistake you did during the last game. You understood it. You made that change. Good. Good for you. Good on you. But again, nothing happened. There was nothing going on, and I don't know. It's not that he does have a lot of players sitting in the bench for him to bring on and change the game. Their squad in itself wasn't as talented as it used to be. We spoke about this a couple of podcasts ago also. But again, bizarre selections. Someone like Diego Aspas would have been a great addition to this game.
I
Would
agree.
have brought in something to. I really don't know what they are going to do. Again, congratulations to Poland, especially Lewandowski, who managed to find that important goal. Now Poland has a life, and this particular table is very interestingly poised. Actually, Spain is third right now, right?
Yes.
Spain's third with 2 points. So yeah, it could be interesting. We'll wait and see what's going to
What's
happen.
I think remind the viewers, Bala, just and also me, what is the criteria for you to qualify if you're third?
So if you are third, then they will take all the third place teams from each of the 6 groups and pick up the top 4 of them. That 4
Based
will
on
go.
what?
Based on points first, and then if points are same, then goals. Goal
Got it.
difference.
Okay. Got it.
So as of now, the soft spot is if you can score 4 or above and finish third, then you are on the safer side. Now that's where I believe Portugal has a problem, because if they lose to France, they will end up with 3 points.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if now this is a big man-sized if Hungary manage to beat Germany,
Oh God.
then Portugal will finish fourth
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah. Wow.
So this could get very tricky. This could get really tricky. So that's about the second round of games across all the groups. Now we have one group. I mean, we are recording this on 21st June, Monday, 10:40. As we are talking, Netherlands and North Macedonia game is going on. Austria and Ukraine game is going on. So Group A is done. So we have the final standings. Italy, as expected, won all their 3 games. They defeated Wales in their third game 1-0. And Switzerland defeated Turkey, who is supposed to do really good. Turkey, then they lost all their 3 games. They conceded 8 goals. The entire of their Euro qualifiers, they conceded 3 goals. In these 3 games, they conceded 8 goals. By far they have been the biggest disappointment of this group stage.
I think, and Croatia is in line to match them in being disappointing. But yeah, amazing. Did you see the Shaqiri goal, by the way?
Oh yeah, brilliant. And that game had brilliant goals. 3-1 the score was. 3 out of those 4 goals were scored from outside the box. And that was apparently Shaqiri's first ever score on his right foot.
Oh my God. He uses international tournaments to score worldies.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said in the beginning, international tournaments are not boring anymore. They are fun. Now, when I say international tournaments are no more boring, they are fun. There is no other team to kind of earmark this statement other than Italy. They played a totally different team. Mancini made 8 changes and they were still good.
It's scary.
They are still good. Scary. Yeah, amazing they were.
But I'm telling you, this is the advantage of all your players primarily playing in one single league.
Which is true.
So they all have
not many, right? Like, see, from the starting 11, Jorginho plays in England, Verratti plays in PSG. But yeah, their defense pretty much plays
in one team.
That's true. Correct. Actually, that's a valid point. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's true. Very valid point. But that goes to show, there was this beautiful piece. I was listening to one of this Italian journalist, Nikki Bandini. So she said that the work of this particular Italian team started way back in 2010. After they had a horrible 2010 World Cup, the Italian Federation brought back Arrigo Sacchi, the Milan legend Arrigo Sacchi, to do something, to do some changes to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So that's when he started the work. He started from the youth academies at that point of time to make those players play this attractive, expansive, non-Italian type football. And guess who were there during that time playing for the youth academies? Your Chiesas, your Locatellis, your Verrattis, etc., etc. So any team, this is a very interesting case to see how Italian football have progressed in terms of their style of play. A very interesting
practice
case
for Spain to look at, actually, to reboot their style.
In fact, when Italy did this, their aim was to follow
Italy.
Sorry. When Italy did this, pardon my South Indian, pardon the Chennai boy who just came out of nowhere. The Italian Federation followed Spanish model in 2010, because in 2010 Spain was the best team. I mean, Spain were the best team. Anyways, nice. So we have had a great Euro so far. I mean, I can't begin to explain how excited I am to look forward to the last round of games and the next set of knockout fixtures that are going to come. No major upsets so far. As I said, Turkey has been the only major disappointment. Apart from that, we haven't seen a lot of upsets. Maybe in the next 2 days, by the time you're listening to this episode, maybe we have had those upsets. Moving on to the dampener, which is World Test Championship. Whatever we thought that would happen, everything was washed away.
Yes.
Not even one innings have been completed. Day 4 ended today. Finally, the day was abandoned. We have lost more than 2.5 days of play easily. I think this is heading nowhere unless both the teams decide to come out of their things and say that let's play like a 1 day type game, like New Zealand declare and then India play for 10-15 overs and then give it back to New Zealand. I don't know, but I really don't see this going anywhere.
Yeah, it's been really sad, and England is being, at this time of the year, we know how the weather is. It's just bad planning, I feel, from the ICC to have it at this time of the year. They should have probably chosen another country itself to play this match, because it's such a great spectacle. It's the first time it's happening. You don't want to end it, have it end as literally a damp squib.
Yeah.
Because the half innings whether we've had, it's been great to watch. Great cricket, great bowling. Obviously New Zealand are on top, but India also had their moment with Kohli batting, etc. But it's just sad, right? Because it's proper Test cricket. We had World Test Championship for it. I don't know. I think it goes down to how badly this was planned, I feel.
Yeah. Shouldn't it have been a series, like a series of 3 games? I mean, you're supposed to play 9 full series before playing this finals.
But I understand the logic of a final being a one-off, but I would much rather have it drawn by 5 days being played, which is very unlikely, in today's day in cricket. It's very rare
Yeah.
to see a 5-day test match end in a draw. If you've noticed, like mostly there are results happening. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but whether playing a part in your decision, especially in a final, which can result in a draw, is just not like it's just not good for the sport, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Anyways, at least, well, for the first time, it started somewhere. Hopefully, next time they learn the errors and they'll make it better. And parallelly, our Indian women's team were playing against England's women's team on a one-off test match, and they have T20s and one days also to follow. Again, very impressive. They started off very badly. They had England women enforce the follow-on. Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandhana. I mean, Smriti Mandhana is by far my favorite women player to watch. She's pure class.
Yeah, what a player! What a player! What a batsman!
Very pure class. And Shefali Verma, I didn't expect her to excel this much in test, but again, she's giving, in every sense, she's giving me a Sehwag vibe. Like, because even I thought like Sehwag wouldn't do well in test. Like this kind of player, this style of attacking play won't stand well in test games. But Shefali Verma again proved me wrong. Both the innings, amazing game. Second innings especially, she played within herself. We all know how she loves to attack, but she played that waiting game. Amazing, great things to come. I hope both the boards, in fact every cricket board, arranges a lot of women's test matches, and we'll get to see more of them.
And test series, I don't think, have series. Don't have one-off matches which mostly feel like an exhibition game. Have a proper competitive series, like that's how you're going to get the awareness and people, because this is actually great cricket. Like, guys, if you don't watch women's cricket and probably only watch the limited overs women's cricket, watch their test game. They are actually really good, and it's great to watch. It's proper pure cricket. And as Bala said, just watch Smriti Mandhana bat, man. Like, wow, like she's got oozes class, oozes class.
Like an early 2000, late 90s Ganguly. Like, it was just beautiful.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go worse, but you saved it. I said she looks like an advanced version of Sadagopan Ramesh.
Nah. She's better. She's way better than
who actually has footwork.
Yeah. Sadagopan Ramesh with footwork. But I would put her. See, the one reason why I put her as another Ganguly is Ganguly plays this square drive. I have not seen many left-handed batsmen play that square drive as beautifully and as gracefully as Ganguly. So there's only player in women's cricket I have seen that doing is her. So that's where I put her at par with Ganguly. Moving on to our speed point, nothing much to discuss because nothing much happened in terms of managerial changes. Well, some of the news still remains the same. Spurs are still in hunt for a new manager. Paulo Fonseca deal didn't go through. Gattuso, who left Fiorentina, was supposed to manage them for a while, but again that also fell through. Tottenham, I mean, no one knows. I don't think even Daniel Levy knows who's going to be their next manager. Did you see this news? City have reportedly made $100 million bid on Harry Kane.
Oh, wow.
Their first official bid, which is expected to be rejected, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. And fresh from the press is Hakan Kwanaglu just switched to Inter Milan from AC Milan.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I saw that. Great news.
So they got him on the cheap, which Inter Milan need right now. Ashraf Hakimi is probably close to joining PSG. I have no idea how PSG continue to have so much money.
कहाँ से लाके आ रहा है पैसा? No idea.
Like, I don't know. Donnarumma is going to have his medical I think today or tomorrow for PSG, and Navas might be loaned out. We don't know that as well. Varane, there have been two official bids, or not official, but two pretty good sources have said that two concrete bids have come for Rafael Varane, one from PSG and one from Manchester United. Real Madrid are asking for a 50 million price. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. But yeah, obviously because of the Euros, Copa America happening, you're not going to see too much traction on the transfer front. But I think it's going to go into overdrive once all of this ends.
Yeah, talking about Copa America, nothing much is happening there. Just to give you an overview of Copa America, guys, why we are not spending so much time on it at this point of time. The reason being, you have two groups. five teams each in two groups, and all these five teams play against each other. So that's 10 matches in each group, and 4 out of the 5 go through to quarterfinals. So they basically are playing 20 games to eliminate 2 teams. So
It's a half a season.
exactly. So we are letting them play those 20 games first, and then when they reach the quarterfinal stage, then we'll take it seriously. So until then,
Yeah.
just a quick update. Argentina are top on their group. They have 4 points out of 2 games. They defeated Uruguay, a very, very important game, 1-0 win. Uruguay with Cavani and Suarez up front managed 0 shots on target. Brazil continuing their spectacular form. They are, Italy here and Brazil there are just unstoppable right
Yeah.
now. Brazil 2 games, 2 wins with 6 points. I mean, they're going to walk this group stage through. So that's about it from
Yeah.
Copa America. That's about it from the world of sports from us. Eeshaan, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say before we say tata bye bye?
For F1 fans, you guys missed a insane F1 weekend in France. You know, for the first time in I think 12 years, we've seen Red Bull take pole position, winning a race for 3 consecutive races. Verstappen is now top of the World Championship board over Hamilton, so it's going to be a great season where we actually might see Hamilton not win, which is a relief because it's been 7 years in a row.
I mean,
so
goes in line with the football season, right? Juventus finally
Exactly.
losing, Celtic finally losing.
I think, so people who are F1 fans and were a little disinterested in the last couple of years, if you're not a Mercedes supporter, I think this is the season for you to watch really good races happening, competitive races, all the top. There are 4 big teams who have great cars and great driver lineups. So watch it, guys. It's exciting.
Oh, great. I'll also get on the F1 bandwagon then. Cool. That was a good update. And thank you once again, guys. So by the time you listen to this episode on maybe all the group stages must have been done. We'll have the final 16 games all laid out. So we will be back again recording on Thursday night. By the time we'll have all the pre-quarterfinals of round of 16 games ready, and we'll discuss from there on who's going to be our favorites. I'm definitely going to make Eeshaan uncomfortable again by asking who's going to be the favorites, goal scorer and everything.
Imagine if France doesn't qualify. What?
Great. All right, guys. Good night. Have a great day. Have a great week. Enjoy.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also please, like we are literally begging, to rate our podcast on whichever app you are listening to. It not only helps us, but also new listeners to easily find our podcast. You can also reach out to us on Twitter @SportsCharcha. A big shout out to the Jam Room Audio for our theme music. You can follow the Jam Room on Facebook @the Jam Room Audio. Bye.